Chosen one, this is not a coincidence, this is a divine appointment. You were not scrolling aimlessly. Heaven scheduled this encounter. Even as you hear these words, the Spirit of God is aligning your steps for transition. The same hand that called Abraham out of his homeland is now calling you into your next season. What you feel stirring in your heart right now is not restlessness, it is revelation. You've been sensing it, haven't you? That quiet unease, that growing awareness that where you are no longer fits who you've become. It's not anxiety, it's divine preparation. God is positioning you for your Kairos moment, a supernatural shift that will move you from limitation to overflow, from delay to divine acceleration. Isaiah 43:19 declares, "Behold, I am doing a new thing, now it springs forth, do you not perceive it?" Chosen one, heaven has already written your departure. The doors closing around you are not rejection, they are redirection. The walls tightening around you are not punishment, they are propulsion. God is saying, pack your faith. The place you've been is no longer your home, the promise ahead is. Something sacred is shifting in the spirit realm, and you are the reason why. Chosen one, can you feel it? That quiet, stirring deep in your chest, the subtle awareness that something in your spirit is shifting. It's not imagination, it's revelation. Heaven is drawing your attention because you've reached the threshold of a divine turning point. What you've been sensing lately, the restlessness, the strange silence, the way familiar things suddenly feel foreign, it's not confusion, it's confirmation. You are being prepared for divine movement. The waiting hasn't been wasted. Every delay, every closed door, every sleepless night was shaping something sacred within you. Heaven has been working behind the curtain, rearranging people, places, and opportunities to align with the calling on your life. You thought you were standing still, but God was actually repositioning you. The silence you've been walking through wasn't absence, it was strategy. You weren't being ignored, you were being incubated. I know what it's like to feel the tension between faith and uncertainty, to feel ready for change, yet unsure where it will come from. I remember a season where everything I relied on began to shake. Finances, relationships, direction, all of it. And I thought I was being abandoned. But the truth was, God was clearing my foundation, making room for a supernatural rebuild. Sometimes He has to empty your hands before He can fill them. Sometimes He has to let the ground crack so living water can rise. Chosen one, that's where you are right now, between endings and beginnings, between what was and what will be. Heaven has issued a new assignment with your name on it. You've outgrown your current atmosphere spiritually, emotionally, and even physically. The same air that once refreshed you now feels stale because your spirit has already risen higher. You're not being pushed out, you're being lifted up. The unease you've been feeling is not anxiety, it's spiritual labor. It's the pressure that comes before birth. God is birthing a new chapter in your life, and every contraction of discomfort is announcing that breakthrough is near. You're not breaking down, you're breaking open. You're stepping out of limitation into expansion, out of survival into significance. Listen carefully. When God is preparing to move you, He starts by making you uncomfortable where you are. The doors that once opened easily start to close. The people who once understood you start to drift. The dreams you once settled for begin to feel too small. Don't mourn the shift, don't resist it. The discomfort is divine direction. Heaven is saying, it's time. You may not see the full path yet, but God has already ordered your steps. The provision, the timing, the confirmation, it's all in place. The key is obedience. When your spirit whispers yes, heaven begins to move. The same God who guided Abraham into unknown lands, who raised Joseph from the prison to the palace, is guiding you now. You are not being evicted, you are being elevated. Chosen one, hear this. The new season you're stepping into will not just change your surroundings, it will transform your identity. You are being moved for purpose. comfort. The shift is not just physical, it's prophetic. Heaven is transferring what belongs to you. Every seed of faith you planted in tears is about to manifest in divine harvest. So breathe, stay anchored. Your spirit already knows what your eyes haven't yet seen, that the move has begun. You're not waiting for destiny to find you. Destiny has already knocked on your door. And soon, you'll see why everything had to change when it did. Chosen one. Every divine relocation begins with disruption. Heaven never shifts your position without first stirring your spirit. That sense of, I don't belong here anymore, it's not rebellion, it's revelation. God is whispering that your time in this chapter is complete. You've gathered what you needed from this soil, and now He's calling you to plant your roots in new ground. But let's be honest, transition isn't comfortable. It pulls at the parts of you that crave stability. It challenges the logic that says, I need everything figured out before I move. I've been there. I've sat in the tension of obedience, not knowing how it would unfold. I remember when God asked me to leave a job that had become my safety net. I didn't have a backup plan, but I had a word. And that word carried me through every uncertain step. Because when God says move, your yes carries more weight than your understanding. Chosen one. That's what faith looks like. Movement before manifestation. It's trusting the unseen hand that guides you. The same presence that walked with you through the wilderness will walk you into your promised season. You are not stepping into the unknown. You are stepping into what heaven has already prepared. Look around your life right now. The things that used to satisfy you no longer do. Conversations that once inspired you now drain you. Doors that once opened freely now seem locked. It's not rejection, it's realignment. God is removing your comfort from places that can no longer contain your calling. You've outgrown the room, and heaven is expanding your territory. Every closed door is sacred proof that your next door is near. Don't misinterpret divine disconnection as loss. When people drift, when plans crumble, when old routines stop working, it's because the season has expired. You can't carry yesterday's manna into today's mission. What once fed you will now frustrate you because your spirit has evolved beyond it. Chosen one, you've been walking through what I call the holy unrest, a state where peace no longer fits your present. It's heaven's way of saying you were never meant to stay here. God is repositioning you for something greater. He's not punishing you, He's promoting you. The breaking you feel is not a breakdown, it's breakthrough in disguise. You see, God often moves in silence before He moves in sight. Long before a physical change happens, He stirs something deep within you. You start feeling drawn toward places you've never been, people you've never met, and dreams you can't yet explain. That's divine foreshadowing, the Spirit's way of showing you where you're headed before your feet get there. Chosen one, don't despise this in-between season. It's the place where faith matures. The waiting room of destiny is never wasted time. While you feel stuck, heaven is building structure. While you feel hidden, God is preparing the unveiling. He's not just moving you to something, He's moving you for something. Your obedience will unlock assignments you didn't even know existed. You've been in training for transition. Every disappointment taught you discernment. Every delay strengthened your faith. Every heartbreak refined your heart for what's next. Heaven saw every sacrifice, every time you chose prayer over panic, faith over frustration. None of it was unseen, and none of it was in vain. Chosen one, the Spirit of God is saying, you are ready. The weight you've been carrying is about to turn into wings. You won't have to chase what's meant for you, it will locate you. Divine timing is meeting divine preparation. You are not behind schedule, you're right on time for a supernatural shift. So lift your eyes, beloved. You are standing on sacred ground, the border between what was and what will be. Heaven has already written your next chapter. All that's left is for you to take the first step. Chosen one, hear me. When God begins to move you, He doesn't just rearrange your surroundings, He reconfigures your spirit. That's why lately you've felt both weary and awake at the same time. It's as if your body is catching up to what your soul already knows. You are not tired because you're weak. You're tired because you're transitioning. You're being rewired for the new assignment that heaven has already released over your life. You've probably noticed that time feels different now. What used to move slowly suddenly accelerates. What used to feel urgent no longer matters. That's because divine timing is overtaking human pacing. God is collapsing delays and aligning divine opportunities, and though your natural eyes can't yet see it, your spirit can feel the momentum. There was a time I felt exactly like this, standing at the edge of something I couldn't name. I remember praying, "God, why does everything around me feel unstable?" And He whispered, "Because the ground that once held you is no longer holy for where you're going." That revelation changed me. Sometimes stability becomes stagnation, and God loves you too much to let you stay where His presence no longer dwells. Chosen one, don't mistake divine disturbance for disaster. The shaking isn't meant to destroy you, it's meant to set you free. Like an eagle stirring its nest, God is unsettling what's comfortable so that you'll learn to fly. That pressure in your chest, that uneasiness when you try to return to old routines, it's heaven telling you, you've outgrown this place. There's a word that's been stirring in my spirit for you. Repositioning. Not punishment, not rejection, repositioning. Heaven is moving you strategically like a chess piece, aligning your presence with purpose. What looks like loss is often relocation. The people who walked away, the doors that closed, the opportunities that fell apart, all of them were divine exits meant to guide you toward divine entrances. Chosen one. What's happening in your life right now isn't random, it's orchestration. Heaven is engineering a sequence of divine alignments, the right people, the right timing, the right provision. You may not see it yet, but heaven has already gone ahead of you. The place you're being called to is already being prepared. The resources you'll need are already being released. The angels assigned to your new season are already clearing the path. But here's what you must understand. Obedience always precedes overflow. God won't show you everything because faith is what unlocks revelation. Sometimes He gives direction, not details. You may not know the how, but you've already received the when, the whisper you've been hearing in your spirit. Now, that is heaven's signal. When you move in obedience, provision will meet you halfway. I know it's not easy to walk when you can't see the road. I know what it feels like to step forward while your knees are trembling. But chosen one, faith doesn't require certainty, it requires surrender. You don't need the full map when you trust the one who drew it. When God orders your steps, even your detours become destiny. The wind of change is blowing. The old doors that used to open easily are now sealed because your name is being written on new gates. You're not losing favor, you're being redirected toward divine favor. You're not being punished, you're being positioned for a promise that's been waiting for this exact moment. So when you feel the urge to fight for what's fading, pause, let it fall away. Trust that heaven never removes without replacing. Every empty space in your life is about to be filled with divine substance. New assignments, new provision, new peace. You're not losing anything meant for you. You're just making room for everything that's about to come. Chosen one, you are not stepping into uncertainty, you are stepping into unveiling. And soon, you'll understand why the breaking had to come before the building. Chosen one, there is something sacred about this exact moment in your journey, something heaven has carefully arranged. You may think everything is falling apart, but in truth, everything is falling into place. The tension you're feeling isn't the end, it's transition. You are standing at the edge of a supernatural alignment, where what was hidden will soon be revealed. suddenly accelerate. I've learned that before every divine relocation, God releases a subtle but unmistakable pattern, the same one that's now unfolding in your life. First, He withdraws your comfort. Then, He stirs your vision. And finally, He sends confirmation. You've already felt all three. The restlessness that kept you awake at night, that was step one. The dreams that seemed too vivid to ignore, step two. And this message, the one finding you right now, in this very moment, that's step three, confirmation. You are not imagining it. Heaven is signaling movement. Chosen one, the old atmosphere cannot hold the new you. What once felt right now feels restrictive because your spirit is expanding beyond the limits of your current season. Every time you sense that resistance, remember, it's not opposition, it's invitation. God is calling you out of what's familiar into what's fruitful. He's saying, you've learned what you needed here, now it's time to grow elsewhere. I once heard someone say that when an eagle senses the storm, it doesn't hide, it rises. That's what this moment is for you, a rising. You were never meant to stay grounded in the safety of yesterday. God has equipped you to soar above what others fear. The turbulence you're feeling is proof of altitude. You're climbing, chosen one, and the air always feels thinner at higher levels. But don't fear the unknown. God doesn't relocate without revelation. Even when you can't trace His hand, you can trust His heart. He knows what you cannot see. The opportunities that seemed lost were never yours. They were decoys meant to test your discernment. Heaven is guiding you toward divine territory, and soon everything will align: the place, the provision, the people. You might look around right now and see only endings, but every ending is Heaven's way of clearing space for beginnings. The door that closed wasn't rejection, it was redirection. The friendship that faded wasn't punishment, it was protection. The opportunity that slipped away wasn't loss, it was leading you toward legacy. Chosen one, this next chapter of your life will not require you to chase, it will require you to align. When your heart aligns with God's will, everything that's meant for you begins to find you. You won't need to manipulate outcomes or force open doors. The right keys are already in Heaven's hand, and they turn only when you are ready to walk through. And maybe that's why God has been quiet lately, because silence is the sound of preparation. Heaven doesn't announce every move. Sometimes it simply shifts the atmosphere. Pay attention to what's changing around you. The restlessness you feel is divine motion. The emptiness you sense is sacred space being created for newness. I remember a time when I resisted change because I was afraid to lose what I had built. But then I realized, if God is the architect, He's not tearing down, He's redesigning. The blueprint of your life has been revised, chosen one. What once fit no longer does, because the room of your purpose has expanded. And soon, you'll see it a divine opportunity, a sudden confirmation, a door that opens in a way that defies logic. When it happens, don't question it, step forward, because when Heaven says move, your miracle is already waiting in motion. Chosen one, this is not the season to retreat, it's the season to release. The more you let go, the lighter you'll become, and the higher you'll rise. Chosen one, you've come too far to doubt what God is doing now. The shaking around you is not punishment, it's proof that you're being shifted. What once surrounded you was never meant to sustain the next version of you. Heaven has been rearranging your environment to match your expansion. That's why certain doors no longer open, why certain people no longer speak your language, and why your spirit no longer feels at home in places that once gave you peace. You are evolving. The anointing on your life has outgrown your atmosphere. Do you remember when a seed must break before it becomes a tree? That breaking isn't destruction, it's destiny in motion. That's you right now. Every pressure, every tear, every stretch is proof of new life emerging. You are in divine labor, and Heaven is midwifing your promise. What feels like contraction is actually creation. There was a time I fought every ending I thought loss meant I had failed. But I learned that sometimes God subtracts to multiply. He prunes what looks alive to make room for what's eternal. I remember the day I lost a friendship that once meant everything to me. I begged God to fix it, but instead He whispered, "If you keep holding what's familiar, you'll miss what's fruitful." That loss became my liberation. And now I see it, every closed door was a divine yes in disguise. Chosen one, your yes is about to activate something irreversible. Heaven is orchestrating what your hands could never force. The moment you choose trust over control, the supernatural steps in. Your surrender is the signal that releases divine supply. When Abraham lifted the knife, provision appeared. When Peter stepped onto the water, the storm became a pathway. Heaven doesn't move on panic, it moves on obedience. You've been asking, God, when will it happen? But the truth is, it's already happening. The unseen realm has been rearranged in your favor. You're not waiting for the door is waiting for your step. When your spirit aligns with heaven's timing, manifestation becomes magnetic. The right opportunity will locate you. The resources you've been praying for will appear precisely when you need them. You won't have to chase what's meant for you, it will find you. Chosen one, divine provision always hides inside divine positioning. The place God is sending you has already been prepared. There are people who have been praying for the light you carry. There are tables already set, waiting for your arrival. You may not have the full map, but your spirit knows the direction. Follow the peace, not the pressure. Follow the whisper, not the crowd. Right now, God is whispering, prepare the room. That means clean out what no longer belongs physically, spiritually, emotionally. The clutter in your space often mirrors the clutter in your heart. When you release the old, you make room for the new. Heaven never fills a vessel that's already full. Emptying is not loss, it's readiness. I sense strongly that for many of you, this move is not just physical. It's a spiritual elevation, a shift from worry to worship, from survival to stability, from striving to stillness. You're entering a season where things that once required effort will begin to flow with ease. What was delayed will suddenly be delivered. What was confusing will become clear. Chosen one, the heavens are declaring over you now. It is time. You've passed the tests of faith, endurance, and obedience. You are being released into the fulfillment of long-awaited promises. You will look back soon and realize that every detour, every delay, every disappointment was divinely designed to bring you here to this exact threshold. Stand tall, beloved. Lift your hands in gratitude, even before the breakthrough appears. For the move is not coming, it has already begun. Chosen one, this next part of your journey will require a deeper level of trust than ever before. You're not just being moved, you're being matured. The Father is refining your discernment so that you no longer react to circumstances, but respond to His voice. You're learning to recognize that when one season ends, it's not rejection, it's realignment. When the familiar grows silent, heaven is speaking louder than ever. There is a sacred stillness that comes before every major shift. Don't mistake it for delay. What feels like pause is actually preparation. Heaven is rearranging the coordinates of your destiny so that when you take your next step, everything clicks into place. Timing, favor, and provision, all synchronized perfectly. You may not see the map, but the path is already drawn in the spirit. I remember standing at the edge of my own, unknown, unsure, anxious, wondering if I had heard God correctly. I wanted signs, guarantees, confirmation after confirmation, but all I heard was a whisper, go. And when I did, everything I needed was waiting on the other side of obedience. The rent was covered, the resources appeared, the people I needed came out of nowhere. That's how God moves suddenly, precisely, faithfully. Chosen one. The same will happen for you. You will not lack in this transition. Provision will meet you in motion. You'll look back and realize that heaven had your itinerary long before you packed a single thing. But first, you must release control. Stop rehearsing the how. Stop calculating the when. The details belong to God. The decision belongs to you. Right now, heaven is shifting the atmosphere around your name. There's a stirring in the unseen contracts being written, favor being extended, doors being assigned to your obedience. You may not feel ready, but readiness in the kingdom isn't about perfection, it's about posture. A willing heart is stronger than a perfect plan. Chosen one, listen carefully. There's a difference between comfort and calling. Comfort keeps you safe, but calling makes you significant. You were not chosen to live safely, you were chosen to live sent. The unfamiliar territory you're being led into is the stage where your anointing will expand. You're not being displaced, you're being deployed. This move isn't about escape, it's about elevation. Every divine relocation has a hidden revelation. For some, it's a new land. For others, it's a new mindset. Either way, it's a new level. God is breaking the ceiling of your old capacity because He's about to pour something bigger, a new assignment, a divine partnership, a supernatural resource. The same Spirit that hovered over the waters in Genesis is hovering over your life right now, preparing to speak, "Let there be." I sense this strongly. You're entering a season of sudden acceleration. What took years will happen in weeks. The delay you thought was permanent will turn into divine speed. But this speed isn't chaos, it's coordinated. You'll move quickly, yet peacefully. Things will align without striving. People will appear without chasing. That's the rhythm of grace. And when doubt whispers, "What if I fail?" answer it with faith. What if this is exactly what I was made for? Because it is. You are the vessel chosen for this timing. You are the one heaven has prepared to carry this light forward. Chosen one, the unknown ahead is not empty. It's already filled with promise. Step into it. Heaven has already gone before you, and angels are already waiting where your courage will lead you. Chosen one, I need you to hear this clearly. You are walking into a season that will not resemble your past in any way. The very things that once drained you will now serve as confirmation that you've grown beyond them. You're not looping through old cycles anymore. You've passed the test. Heaven has marked your name for advancement. The warfare you felt was never meant to destroy you. It was meant to identify you. You were being refined for royal purpose. I've seen this pattern in every story. Heaven writes, before the manifestation comes the misunderstanding. Before the public breakthrough comes the private breaking. But those who endure that season of silence emerge unshakable. That's you, anointed one. Your quiet obedience has moved more in heaven than loud ambition ever could. God saw every tear you wiped when no one else noticed. Every yes you whispered when you wanted to give up. Every seed you sowed in faith when nothing seemed to grow. None of it was wasted. Those moments became currency in the Spirit, and now heaven is releasing the return. Chosen one, the delay was never denial, it was development. You had to grow into the version of yourself that could sustain what's coming. God isn't interested in short-lived success. He's after eternal fruit. That's why He's been pruning your circle, simplifying your focus, sharpening your discernment. You might have thought you were losing connections, but in truth, heaven was refining your company to match your calling. Not everyone can go where you're going, and that's okay. Your journey requires spiritual altitude, and not every soul is built to breathe that high. You'll notice it soon. The air around you will feel different. Conversations will shift. Opportunities will carry peace instead of pressure. This is the evidence of divine timing. You are no longer chasing, you are attracting. The right doors won't require you to push. they'll open at your presence because you carry heaven's key now, obedience. I remember when I first stepped into a season like this, everything I feared losing, I lost. Everything I thought I needed, God replaced with something better. It hurt, but it healed me. I finally understood that surrender is not the end of control, it's the beginning of clarity. That's where you are, chosen one. You're stepping out of confusion into confirmation. This next phase of your assignment won't require striving. It will require stillness. The Holy Spirit is saying, rest and receive. For so long you've fought to survive. Now, heaven is inviting you to thrive. The same hand that once carried you through chaos is now positioning you in calm. The ground is shifting beneath you, not to shake you loose, but to plant you deeper. Chosen one, I feel the urgency of heaven over your life right now. The doors that are about to open will not just change your surroundings, they will change your sound. Your words will carry new authority. When you speak, things will move. When you pray, atmospheres will shift. You are being entrusted with a voice that carries weight in both realms, natural and spiritual. Do not underestimate what this season means. The warfare intensified because the release is close. The pressure increased because the promise matured. This is the birthing moment, the culmination of years of preparation. You are standing on holy ground where heaven meets earth through your obedience. Chosen one, breathe. The hardest part is over. You're crossing into fulfillment. Every tear you cried became water for your new beginning. Every closed door became wind pushing you toward destiny. Every test became a testimony waiting to be told. The next time you feel that divine stirring inside you, don't run from it, rise with it. Because what's coming isn't just breakthrough, it's birthing. Chosen one, this is it, the threshold moment heaven has been preparing you for, the shift you've been sensing, the restlessness in your spirit, the quiet pull towards something greater. It's not imagination. It's divine invitation. You are standing at the doorway of your next dimension, and heaven is saying, step forward. This is not just relocation, it's revelation. God is unveiling who you truly are, piece by piece. The old identity can't follow you here. The insecurities, the doubts, the need for validation, they were all weights tied to a version of you that no longer exists. The wilderness taught you dependence. Now the promised land will teach you dominion. You've learned to trust his hand in the dark. Now you'll see his glory in the light. Chosen one, what's ahead of you isn't random favor. It's assigned favor. It carries your name, your timing, your divine coordinates, the right connections, the divine helpers, the supernatural resources. They're already aligned. God has already sent angels ahead to prepare the ground, just like he did for Israel before they entered Canaan. You're not walking into a place, you're walking into a promise. You may not recognize yourself in this next chapter because the version of you that's emerging was forged in fire. You prayed for purpose, but God gave you pressure to shape it. You asked for confirmation, and he gave you silence to strengthen your hearing. Now, he's giving you evidence. The signs are everywhere. Peace in the middle of uncertainty, provision that appears when logic says it shouldn't, clarity that feels effortless. This is what divine alignment looks like. I remember my own moment of crossing over, terrified yet trembling with peace. Everything around me looked impossible, but inside I knew heaven had already gone ahead. The rent, the resources, the doors, all of it unfolded the moment I said yes. That's the secret, chosen one. Heaven waits for your yes. Not your perfection, not your readiness, just your surrender. And now, the same whisper that once carried you through the valley is saying, go. You've lingered long enough in the waiting room of destiny. The next room is ready. The key isn't in your hand, it's in your faith. Every step you take will unlock what's been sealed. As you move, the path will appear beneath your feet. As you trust, miracles will meet you in motion. Chosen one, don't be surprised when the new begins to call your name. New land, new relationships, new provision, new peace. You are not walking away from something, you are walking into fulfillment. What you thought was an ending was actually the sound of heaven saying, "It's time." The same spirit that hovered over your beginnings is hovering over your becoming. This is your prophetic confirmation. You are being moved, not by circumstance, but by command. The discomfort was divine direction. The silence was sacred strategy. And the timing, oh, the timing, it's perfect. God does not make mistakes with his chosen ones. Every detail has been written. Every door has been measured. Every step has been sanctified. So, lift your head, anointed one. Exhale the fear. Inhale faith. You are not leaving empty-handed. You are stepping into overflow. The transfer has already begun. The release is already in motion. The heavens are open, and the gates of abundance are calling your name. Walk forward. Speak your yes. Type Amen as your declaration of readiness, because this time, it's not just another move. It's the one heaven has been preparing for you since the beginning of time. This is your moment, your door, your destiny. You're not being displaced, you're being deployed. You're not being moved, you're being manifested. Chosen one, your time is now. Chosen one, take a deep breath. You've reached the end of this message, but you're standing at the beginning of a miracle. Heaven has heard your yes. The shift you've been sensing is not waiting, it's already happening. Right now, the atmosphere around your life is changing. The old weight is lifting. The path ahead is clearing. You are stepping into divine alignment with perfect timing. Anointed one, you are not being moved by coincidence. You are being carried by command. What once delayed you is now releasing you. What once drained you is now defining you. This is your Kairos moment, your divinely appointed season, where promises become presence and faith becomes sight. Heaven is transferring strength, favor, and provision into your hands, even as you listen. So, lift your head, chosen one. Walk forward without fear. Every step you take will echo with purpose. Every door you open will reveal destiny. The same hand that prepared your exit is already preparing your entrance. You are not walking into uncertainty, you are walking into fulfillment. If this word resonated in your spirit, type Amen, or I receive it in the comments as a prophetic declaration. Let heaven see your agreement. Stay prayerful, stay aligned, and stay expectant, because what's coming next is not ordinary, it's supernatural. You are chosen, you are covered, you are ready. This is your moment. This is your move. Go forth, anointed one. The promise is already in motion.